Now that we have known how to declare and to concatenate variables, it's time to run the variables in PHP. Now, like so many other programming languages, PHP has also the variable and their types, so that there is integers, there is floats, there is strings, there is objects, there is arrays, null, and so many of them. So I introduced them, and the first one I had already introduced, the variable name. Variable name is a string, and I said a string is a collection of characters strung together to form a continuous or star. You combine the characters together and form a string. So that if I say maybe the name of my friend here, I say Joy. I go and say that name of that person is Joy. If I want to print it, I just print name, the name of the variable. So you just go and say, hey, you know what? The name of your variable is Joy. That way. That is a string, and then there is also others, like I use an integer. I say 89. I come and refresh. Now my integer here should be, maybe I say age. Say age. I go and refresh. Gives me 89. That is an integer now. And then there is also an array. PHP arrays are very important. They help a lot. If I come and say maybe my family can be a collection of people. So if I come and declare the variable here as an array contains elements that are related. So if I go and say that my family, I say like let me say my brother's names. I say there is Peter, there is Francis, there is Dominic. So these are my family, and these are the names of my brothers, Peter, Francis, and Dominic. So if I want to print the first element here, or to access the first element in an array called family, I go and read. I come and print PHP. Now the first element is allocated an index of 0. The second element is allocated an index of 1, and then the third one is allocated an index of 2. So that if I come and say family, and then I use square braces and I say 0, it will read the first element of the family. So if I print family to read Peter. So if I come and refresh here, that's what it should give. So that's the first thing. Those are arrays, and arrays can also be used if you want to allocate a variable, if you want to change maybe let me say, if you want to be more specific where to allocate the variable or the index you want to apply, maybe I can change. The PHP gives the first element an index of 0. I want to change that, and I say then the first element have an index of 1. I'll come and allocate using this notation here, like a direction, something, an equal sign, then a greater sign. So it will come and allocate. The first element should have an index of 1. The second element, I say index of 2. And the third element, an index of 3. So if I come here and print now 1, instead of 0 I use 1, I say I refresh, you just give me Peter. If I come and use 3, instead of 2 now, previously it was reading 2, now it will read 3 to give me Dominic. So I come say it should give me Dominic. So that's the way you allocate variables, and also you declare an array. And then you may also use letters. Like if you want to remember, you may use some letters there. Instead of just 1, 2, 3, you say this is the firstborn, be, this is the third bond, and this is the second last bond. So if I say second last bond that way. So if I come and now use those letters instead, come and say last bond that way, to just print Peter there that way. So those are the two ways you can. This is, well, the name of this array that uses letters is called an associative. You associate a name or a variable with a certain name or index. If in that case you allocate the second one with a certain name or index that way. So it will read. This helps you to remember that the first one is called Peter. So it will come and read in the memory if you try to print it as the Peter there. So thanks guys for watching for the array. Now let me just give you another one, the Boolean one. I say a bool contains two letters. It can be either true or false. So if I come and say hash maybe bool is equals to false, let me use an if statement here. If bool is the same as false, to print this, print false, else should print true, else print true. So if the browser goes and tries to read this memory, it will find that it has been allocated a value of false. So if it comes to compare that, if this value, the false, is the same as false, then it will print false. But if it comes and compare that false here, whatever has been stored in a variable called bool is true, then it will print true. So if I come here and refresh, it will just give me false, the one I've put there. So if I come refresh, it is giving me false. And then if I change this and comes true, I just do that very quickly, true, it will now comes and print true. It will go and check if true is true equals to false. No, then it won't print it. So then it goes to the else part. Now false, true is the same. No, false is now else. If it's not false, then it will give the others. So this is the second print that is given out, or the what is displayed in the browser. So if I come here and refresh, it will give me true, because that's what has matched the result. So that's a bool. There's also the objects. Now PHP can be divided in two parts. There's a procedural part of PHP, and there is the object-oriented one. In procedural programming, you just put things there. You just put the code. You don't organize it. But in procedural programming, no, in object-oriented one, you organize your code according to classes and functions and variables, or the functions are called as variable as methods. So if I come and say class user, this is the object-oriented one, and inside this class I use let me say I use a function hello. So this has 0 parameters there, say arguments, and say echo hello that way. If I now come here and create an object, it's called instantiation, or creating. The normal name is creating an object, but you can use the formal way. What is really accepted in programming is use instantiating. You are creating an object from the class. So let me say first is equals to, you then put the keyword new, then the name of your class user. So it's a good programming language that use uppercase camel one. So you put the first one, the first letter here, you put the camel case, you put U as a capital letter. So if I create or I instantiate an object, and then I come and say in the object, or in the object that you have created as first, I want to access a method known as hello. And this method here has we do this work. It will print something. So if I come here and refresh, it will now go into the object first, and in the class user it will go and find this function or method here, and it will print hello, whatever I had stored here. Let me say hello world. That's the most common one. And then I come and refresh here, just say hey, this is hello world, the same way. So that's an object in array. There is also float. Now float is a kind of, you just add a dot, or you just add a dot on an integer. Anything that has a dot is a float. So like you say, let me say weight of maybe something became 12.3.4 there. This is a float. You just print it the same way. Print weight that way, and with a semicolon there, then refresh 12.4. So those are the most basic ones, and you can also have the null one. Well, by default, if you don't allocate a variable, if you don't allocate a variable some values, like the way ahead, maybe if I just declare a variable name and I leave it like that, PHP come and automatically allocate this variable a value null until you come, maybe after some time, you allocate this variable some information here. So null means nothing. There's nothing in this variable, so it's just like an empty one. So those are the most basics and the most important ones of variables of PHP, or data types in PHP. And then if you have any difficulty with this, or you want me to clarify something, please let me know. So thanks guys for watching. See you in the next video tutorial.